let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about attention to healing, how to naturally raise your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and make your penis bigger. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, tell some friends, make sure you give me that Arthur Fonzarelli thumbs up like so I say, hey, and of course, follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat, I'm YOUNGDAYGO. And that's right, this video we're talking about healing, and you know what we're all about in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where I help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis, help you naturally raise your testosterone and your HGH. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor, here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about some healing. And yes, man, with all this, what's going around in the air and this whole corona scare, you know me, I'm more of a Dos Equis guy myself, so I say salute. Oh yeah, got it in right away, man. I was just, holding my accountability coming home from the gym, and you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot, hitting you with a Mr. Larson trip. You know how we doing this. And when we're talking about this whole, healing and, mostly, taking care of yourself and your health, because health is wealth, as they all say, but really what it all comes down to is what I always got to tell you, and that's this, man. You got to, if you want beauty to appear, you got to keep this clear. You got to be a clear conduit for growth, because you are the one that's going to decide what's telling you what, you know what I mean? And like I say, one of my most famous quotes is, we might all live on the same planet, but we're all from different worlds. And as long as your world's coming with love, coming with energy, you can do no wrong. And that's why I always get this going. I always get it going with the, my favorite rhymes and my favorite reasons to let you know that you got a reason to be breathing. And speaking of which, you know how I go every single day before my feet hit the ground. You know the sound. Go ahead, man. Before you got a breath you can recollect, before you even wake up this morning, just take a quick breath, take a quick moment, take this moment with me. I got a shot today. I feel beautiful, because gratitude is the attitude. You got to be thankful every day that you woke up today, man, because you got a shot. Shot at what? Shot at life. And don't worry about what anybody's trying to tell you how to feel today, because the only thing you should be feeling is beautiful. Never forget that the people that brought you here were excited to do it, man. And it doesn't matter if you had surrogate parents, if you even knew your parents. Doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter about your age or anything, because don't worry, everybody out there is still somebody's kid, no matter what. And like I said, people that brought you here, you were born from excitement. You are excitement. You are energy. And in quantum physics, as they say, energy is neither destroyed nor created. So we are just, an explosion of love and creativity. And whatever you want to make manifest into your life is what you have the gift to do. And when we're talking about healing, this was, of course, inspired by, Steven Seagal movie. You know me, I'm a movie buff, and I got to throw you out, some Hard to Kill real quick. And this was a great movie because, for obvious reasons, I love my action movies, but one of my favorite scenes in it is when he's basically in a coma for like 7 years or 10 years or something crazy, and then he gets up and he's got these killers that are looking for him. And when he's healing in this place somewhere in Los Angeles, like in the hills, or like, I don't know, whatever it is, he's got this he's got a beard and he's got long hair, and he writes this list down of all these Chinese ingredients. And the girl's like, how'd you learn how to write this stuff? And he goes, when I was a boy in my village. And he's talking about like being like, he was raised in like, I don't know, like Japan or China, whatever it was. He's like, when I was a boy in my village, he goes, I went to my sensei and I said, I wanted to learn how to fight. He goes, do you want to be great? And I said, yeah. first learn how to heal people. And that's why he had the grocery list of, you know, all these herbs and remedies, which is something that you should be utilizing anyways. And it's like, you know, it doesn't have to be necessarily written in Chinese and all, you know, thrown out the Hollywood way, which is really something that I would like to partake in, which is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, because he gets like the acupuncture, he gets the needles put in him, and then he's got like these incense like burning on him, and he's like doing this like extreme meditation, and he's just got, I'm like, that's how you meditate. That's at least like what inspired me, like, you know, growing up watching these movies. And it's something I still intend on doing one day. And as they say, you don't need to do all this crazy type of ways of doing it, but hey, it's something I want to try eventually. And you know what it all comes down to is you know, it was healing. And then, like I said, man, I'm gonna go out and ramble like a monkey in a tree. Forrest Gump analogy, you know what I'm saying? But like another favorite part is when he's like thinking about how his kid got killed, and he's like, he takes this like 2x6 and he hits it into the ground. He's got rope tied around it. He's like punching it like this, and it's just funny, like his punches are just square, and then he's just thinking about his kid getting killed and the people burglarizing and whatnot, and then all of a sudden he's going faster, and wham, he just breaks the board. Now, you know, it's a great movie. Hard to kill, you know, you might not like it, but hey, it's something that made me laugh, and it's something that I resonate with. And like I say, if you're smiling, I'm doing something right. The smile is divine. It's made inside the mind. And when we're talking about this whole corona, whatever you want to call it, I mean, like, even I'm talking yesterday in my empath video, when I'm at the grocery store, I didn't realize what was going on, and then I find out a couple days later, I'm like, oh, okay, now this all makes sense why it was so lit late night. I'm like, everybody thinks that they got to get, you know, groceries and toilet paper for some reason, but whatever, man. Like, what it all comes down to is what you're going to allow in anyway. So, like, if you're going to make this, you know, make it or break it, I mean, that's really on you. And the best way to take care of yourself is to let yourself know that you're stronger than, you know, you're stronger than the word, you know what I mean? Because you got your own word, you got your own truths, and like I say, all truths are true. You just got to find the ones to make you. So you ain't gotta go out there and worry about, you know, buying Purell and all this hand sanitizer and all this. And I feel like, you know, in my personal opinion, like, I feel like you gotta get out there. You gotta hug a bum. I mean, this is like a germophobic type of you know, thing that's going on underway. And I mean, in my opinion, that's no good for nobody. I mean, of course, some people got these problems, and I usually call germaphobes. Like, that's like what I would be. This could be ego, you know, considered ego, but what, in my humble opinion, I feel like people that are germaphobes is really rich people problems, because you're not going to see too many poor people and people in third world countries that are, you know, worried about, you know, washing their hands every 5 seconds or fist bumping everybody. And, you know, with the scare and whatnot, I mean, you got to give people a respect and a doubt, but I just feel like, you know what, you got to go with your own, you got to go with your heart, and you got to go with your flow, and understand that, you know, we're here to grow, and we ain't got to let anything get in our way, man. I'm here to spread out something positive, something beautiful, because if we can all agree on collective thought and collective energy, you can see how quickly everything kind of escalated with this whole, you know, what have you. But you got to understand that we will prevail, and that's just the underlying message of you know, human history and what we are. I mean, we're here to thrive, we're here to live, we're here to grow. And if you're gonna let anybody throw your flow, I mean, that's really on you, man. So you ain't got, like, everybody's like, there's no need to think about the worst. You only need to think about the now. And the best thing to do is think about the positive in everything that you do. And like I said, you got all these germaphobe, and I just gotta throw this out there real quick because it's bothering me on my mind. Like, I seen on the TV, there was this guy, he was like finger licking his hands, and Donald Trump called him, he said he was disgusting or something. I mean, the guy, it was kind of like the way he finger licked, it was kind of like disturbing in a sense. But I mean, you know, like, that's what finger licking, I guess, would look like. You know, me, I'm somebody that never really does that, because like it's just kind of how I was raised. Like, I don't want to, you know, I already have the natural inclination when I'm eating to wash my hands before I eat, and to not do something like lick my fingers. But then I'm thinking, like, you know, I got messy hands sometimes, and I'm like, maybe that's how these rich people have clean hands. And that made me think of Seinfeld when George Costanza was eating the Snicker bar in the pledge drive with a fork and a knife, and he's talking about, well, maybe that's how these people, like, how these upper class people, you know, don't get chocolate on their fingers. And then I'm just like, I'm telling you, man, you know me, I love my Seinfeld, I love my movies, love all my, you know, it's anything to make you laugh is really what it all comes down to. And then I just liked it when he was cutting into the Snicker bar at the Yankee, his work meeting. He's like, excuse me for trying to class up this place. And he's talking about some pledge drive. It was pretty lit, man. If you're a fan, watch it. If not, like I said, it makes me feel something. But what we're all going to with this whole, you know, scare or whatever, man, the most important thing is to remain smiling, man. Because if you're grinning, you're winning. And like Moondog says, I always got to share one of my favorite Matthew McConaughey lines, like, all right, all right, all right. Am I saying that the world is conspiring for my happiness? Maybe. Most importantly, I like to have fun. And fun is the gun. So never forget that. Write that down. Fun is the gun. And that's something that you can really just flow with every single day. Because if you're letting yourself, you know, get into that whole, you know, spiral of doubt, man, there's always somebody to help pull you out, man. And the smile is the way up, man. And that's going to help levitate you into the healing motion of what we got. Because laughter is medicine, as they say. And that's something that I really believe, man. I believe in keeping a clear mind. I believe in keeping yourself smiling. And I believe that if you understand, and I believe that you gotta feel that you can achieve it, man. You gotta feel that you're healed already. And being raised around, you know, people in that, you know, they get a cold, they feel like they stretch it out for longer than they need to. You know what I mean? Like you talk to these, like, you know, it's like Denny's or a bowling alley, you know, we're talking a pot of coffee brewing and cigarettes being smoked and a whole bunch of just Babses and it's hard to get over this call. Oh my God. And they're just mumbling about stuff. And it's like, listen, lady, you know, I ain't here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about love. I'm here to talk about laughter. I'm not here to talk and dwell about nothing. And that's just essentially what this all comes down to. Because never forget that your thoughts and your words create your reality. So that is really what it comes down to. Like, if you're going to go out there and start following the rabbit hole and the whole conspiracy theories of what this may or may not be, I mean, you could find yourself, you know, entertained nonetheless. I like my, you know, love my Alex Jones. You guys, you buy some military grade iodine, some vitamin R. And it's like, you know, he's like, I just love how he's always pushing this stuff. And, you know, he's one of the best, man. I love people that are entertaining. But if you let that thing just really just wrench you down and you really feel fearful, and David Icke is another great guy to listen to. But, like, if you really get all, you know, twisted with that kind of stuff, it's no good for nobody, man. Because really what it comes down to is staying up, being positive, understanding that, you know, laughter is the medicine. You got to understand that you got a shot today. You're here to live. You're here to love. And understand that it doesn't matter what time of day it is. You know where I'm going with this. You know how I'm growing. Energy is always there for you to grab, man. It doesn't matter what's in the air. All that matters is you are attached to energy. You are energy. And what we're talking about here is always being on the side of the good, the side of the grow, to keep yourself flowing. And I'm just getting back from the gym, doing my whole Wu-Wei flow, the path of least resistance. You know how I go, how I grow. Just had me about a half dozen donuts. You know how I'm doing that? And yeah, man, they say donuts and deadlifts. They say it's one of the great ways of, you know, being able to get your carbs in and, you know, and grow muscle. So it's like, you know me, I'm always on the good side of anything. So that's what you got to do to help you achieve. But one of the most important things that you ought to know is the mind and muscle connection. And that's what Paramahansa Yogananda was always preaching, is the mind is the wielder of muscle. And of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger and all the greats talking about the arousal techniques of, like, when I go to the gym, it's like I'm coming, yeah, that's what it's about, man. Putting your mind into the sides, being aroused about being alive, and understand that sexual energy created you, so it can help you manifest the body. That's why I do so many different types of techniques. But when we're talking about some positive mantras to keep you going and keep you flowing, never forget the one from Abraham Hicks, is things are always working out for me. And then one of my favorites that I keep spreading and loving is, I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side. And you can go ahead and say that any time of day. And then, of course, give some appreciation to your beautiful avatar, your beautiful muscles. I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful muscles are growing bigger, harder, stronger, more defined, abundantly. And then, of course, for your penis, I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful penis is growing bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder, abundantly. And then, of course, when you gotta get one last rep out, man, I had an empty gym, so you could scream and you shout, but I get the luck of limb at this place. But like I'm saying, if you got the opportunity, at least say it in your head, feel this grow. I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, 2020, getting lit, getting ripped, getting huge. It's a beautiful thing. Gotta love it, man. And for that, I say salute. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Dos Equis today, man. You know how I go, man. It's like, and hey, I don't mind Corona at all either, man. It's one of my favorites. We actually call them Torettos where I come from with my, some of my paisans, because of the Fast and the Furious. You know, Vin Diesel was Dominic Toretto. And we always say, I get a 12-pack of Torettos. And yeah, that's just how it goes. It's like, and Vin Diesel, you can have any beer you want, as long as it's a Corona. You know, and but me, I prefer Dos Equis. But either way, I love a beer. I love a cold beer in my hand. I'm not like, I'm not going to be somebody that's just like, oh, I'm going to drink it. You know what I mean? Whatever you're going to throw at, give me, I'm going to take, man. I'm here to have fun. So for that, I say salute. Oh yeah, man, I'm telling you, beautiful day. And like I said, trying out different types of techniques is something that I'm continuously doing. I intend on, helping out everybody in profound, ways, because we're talking about, manifesting more testosterone, human growth hormone, and we're using scientific beliefs, but we're using magic as well. And like I say, I don't discredit science, but I don't discredit magic. And you got to understand that a lot of this stuff is magic anyways, because, like you hear a lot of bodybuilders talk about how it's all mental. It's like, yeah, it really is, man. And starting with a clear source, not getting all, convoluted with a whole bunch of just information. They can just pull you out and I should have did this and I should have did this. If you're just starting out, man, pick anything and just go with it and grow with it. I'm telling you, you're going to find your flow along the way. Try not to worry about it. The most important thing I can say is just, know your limits and feel it with safety is really what it comes down. That's when we're talking about lifting weights or whatever, the most important thing is, like I said, just feeling out your body. And everybody's got different abilities of what you can and cannot do. So just find out what works for you. And of course, you'll know the push and you'll know the difference between a push and a pinch. And that's going to be the stuff that's going to help you along the way to keep you from to keep you, being healed and not go down those, long, treacherous roads of going too heavy and then having to stay out of the gym. And you look at some of the top bodybuilders, like even Caleb Van Monger, and he's one of those beautiful, huge muscles, and however he's manifested it. And you see his story about just when he tore up his bicep doing some crazy workout with his buddy, just doing some ego fun lift, and then he got and then of course the mountain. A great story to watch on Netflix. But nonetheless, what it all comes down to is, if you want to heal, if you want to lift, and you got to understand what we're doing this for. And the intention is, of course, my biggest intention is for you to be comfortable in your own skin, to be to be comfortable being naked, man. Understand that you're beautiful as is, and you got a beautiful, huge piece of meat swinging at the knees, throbbing at the pecs, making you your best. You know what I'm saying, man. I intend on all of us to grow and become the giants that we are, man. Those huge gods of love, man. Not worrying about the little gremlins at your feet. Just talking about, just, of course, man, just being huge, man. We're up here, not worried about stomping on your best friend's house. Just spreading that love, man, because that's what it all comes down to. And, of course, I got to share my Matrix hack at any given time that I can, because it's worth repeating over and over again, because it's something that you ought to do on a day-to-day, and even, you know, it's something that you got to come back to every now and then. And whenever somebody's just, you know, you're in the energy of a whole bunch of people, and you got all these thoughts coming through your mind, whether it's good, bad, or neutral, you know, just intend on that person, that soul, to have a beautiful day, to feel love in some kind of way, and you go along your day, and you just hacked the matrix. You just made the world a better place. Even if you're on the phone with somebody, even if you see somebody on the TV, if you're finding negative things about anybody that you're seeing, it's really an aspect of yourself. And that's really where health comes from, man. That's where you got to start with. And of course, you know, you got the greats like Dr. Joe Dispenza and a whole bunch of other practices that can, you know, correlate, you know, with your mind creating your health and how you can heal. But we're talking about, you know, one of the best ones is Ho'oponopono, which is something that everybody should be, you know, using more, especially in this time. In this day, in this particular now, you know, that's a great sound to go with. And it's those 4 magical phrases. You know, I preach it every now and then. And what it comes down to is, you know, I am sorry, because you got to take ownership for how you're feeling. Doesn't matter, you know, you got to be neutral about everything in this. You just got to take ownership that even if somebody, you know, did you wrong, you got to be like, you know what, I'm sorry for feeling like this. I'm sorry how it went down. I'm sorry. You just got to take that ownership. And then you got to say, please forgive me, because you got to ask for forgiveness. Never assume it forgiven. Just ask, you know, say, please forgive me. And then thank you, because what? Gratitude is the attitude. So go ahead and you write that down. Thank you. And then, of course, I love you, man, because that is really what it comes down to. Love, man, the power of love. Huey Lou didn't lie. You know the news. You know what we're going with. I always love to share that anyways. But you know what it comes with. So you say, you know, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you say it over and over and over and over and over again. And this way it's a neutral thought. It's a clean slate, and it will help you, you know, it will help manifest beautiful things into your life, because it's helping you be in that receptive mode and taking your ego out of it a little bit. Because as they say, the ego is edging God out. And yeah, you know, I got a huge ego, and a lot of people have egos, and I think they're a beautiful spice of life, man, because this huge melting pot of the dish of life, or whatever you want to call this, I mean, you got to have your sprinkles of pizzazz everywhere that you can. But at the end of it all, we understand that we're all connected at some source, some level. And I understand that everybody out there is a reflection of one another, whether they believe it or not. And then whatever opinion that you have on it is really fine. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You know, if you believe that you are the only one, or whatever, or how this works, I'm not here to say that it's wrong or right, but I just feel that, you know, a lot of us can all agree that we feel connected on some type of level. And I think that's a beautiful way to close this experience today, with love and gratitude and compassion, and telling you guys that you're here to heal, you're here to grow, and we're here to flow, and never let anything keep you down, man, because today is a beautiful day to be alive. So keep breathing, keep smiling, do anything that you like, man. Whenever you're in that zone, that's when you know you're in the best flow, man, because anything that's keeping you up is going to keep you vibrating high. And when you vibrating high, you are alive, and nothing can bring you down except for your mind. So when we're going with that, spread some love today. I'll be seeing you guys around, man. We're going to have plenty more beautiful experiences to come. Make sure you guys are following me on my social media. Check out my KHC. Taking care of the neighborhood, my wolf and my bear always there. And of course, we're gonna, you know, taking trips, whole bunch of, you know, beautiful cameos and surprises this year. It's a beautiful way to go. So I love you guys, and I'll be seeing you around. Peace.